ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the North Penn Natatorium for the dual meet between the North Penn Knights and the Abington Ghosts. Thanks for joining us today. My name is Mary Fankish. I will be your host for the afternoon. We're getting ready to start the dual meet here. The North Penn Knights will be in lanes 1, 3, and 5. Abington, lane 2, 4, and 6. First event is the 200 medley relay. Person to look out for the Abington Ghost is Bob O'Brien. He will be participating in the medley relay in lane 4. He seems to be Abington's star swimmer today. He'll also be swimming today in the 50 free and the 100 back, so keep an eye out for him. Getting ready for the start of the 200 medley relay. Once again, North Penn in lanes 1, 3, and 5. Abington in lanes 2 and 4, electing not to participate in lane 6. And they're off, a clean start. 200 medley relay has 4 swimmers, each swimming 2 laps. First starting out is backstroke. Matt Walsh is in lane 5 for the Knights. Kevin Rader in lane 1. And lane 3 pulls in the backstroke first for the Knights. Breaststroke up next, once again 2 laps. The Knights are coached by Bill Bartle and Brian Fakish. The Abington Ghosts are coached by Louise Buckley and Bill Volpe. Abington comes into the meet at 2 and 11. The Knights come in undefeated for the season. We're on the 3rd lap right now, a butterfly. The relay team for the Knights in lane 3 seems to have a lead right now on the pack. Getting ready for the final leg. Lane 3 does go into the water first. And the relay team in lane 3 for the Knights does finish in first place at 1:52.48. Second place also goes to the Knights at 1:53.82. Third place to the Knights at 1:56.44. Fourth place goes to Abington. And 5th place will also go to the Ghosts. Just finishing up here, the 200 medley relay at the Natatorium Pool in North Penn High School. If you're just joining us. The next event will be the 200 freestyle. The Knights will be represented by Chris Duracek in lane 1. Jeff Fakish in lane 3. And Chris Craig in lane 5. Abington will put its swimmers in lanes 2 and 4. Abington will be in lanes 2 and 4. This is one of Jeff Fakish's specialties. He does have the pool record in this event at 1:46.12. He set that earlier this season. And they're off, a clean start. 200 is 8 laps of the pool. This is a controlled sprint. Jeff Fakish does have the lead right now, reaching into the second turn of the event. Halfway through the 200 individual freestyle. Lane 3, Jeff Fakish for the Knights, does have a slight lead over lane 5, Chris Craig. Coming into the final 2 laps, Jeff Fakish still has a lead on Chris Craig right now for the Knights. Coming into the final stretch. Jeff Fakish finishes in first place with a time of 1:47.33. Second place goes to lane 4. Oh, sorry, goes to lane 5 with a time of 1:52.52. That's also North Penn, Chris Craig. Third place goes to Chris Duracek in lane 1 with a time of 1:56.93. Abington boys will finish up the race 4 and 5. Looks as if lane 2 will get 4th place. Lane 4 will finish up in 5th place. So the Knights sweep the 200 freestyle, 1, 2, 3. They lead in scores right now, 25-2 over the Abington Ghosts. Now getting ready for the 200 individual medley for the boys. North Penn will be in lanes 1, 3, and 5. Lanes 2 and 4 will go to Abington. Just getting the results from the officials for the 200 freestyle, awaiting the start of the 200 individual medley relay. In lane 1 for North Penn, Matt Gibson. Lane 3 for North Penn, Dominic Szabo. Lane 5, Lee Rappaport for the Knights. Abington in 2 and 4. We're seeing some of the younger swimmers today. For the Knights, Dominic Szabo is a freshman. He's in lane 3. $200 individual medley relay is 8 laps of the pole. Fly, back, breast, and free. And Dominic Szabo right now in lane 3 does have an edge on his teammates in lanes 3 and 5. And at the halfway mark, Dominic Szabo reaching in, takes his halfway turn, comes into the breaststroke ahead of the pack. Dominic, of course, from a line of good swimmers in the Szabo family. His brothers Ago and Silvo swam for the Knights. Silvo is a senior this year. Ago is at Clarion University right now. Dominic pulling ahead. The breaststroke can make or break this race for a swimmer. If you're a strong breaststroker, You will pull away from the pack, and Dominic proved that with his 200 IM right now. Coming into the final laps, Dominic Zaba with a commanding lead over the pack into his final turn. And Dominic Zaba will win this race for the Knights with a time of 2:08 flat. Good race for Dominic. Coming in second place for the Knights will be lane 5, Lee Rappaport, with a time of 2:19.49. And for the Knights, lane 1, Matt Gibson with a time of 2:27.73. So the Knights, once again, powerhouse. 1, 2, 3. Abington will finish lane 4 in 4th place and lane 2 in 5th place. Getting ready for the 50 freestyle for the boys. The Knights once again in 1, 3, and 5. Abington Ghost in 2, and 4, and 6. Pardon me. And Abington swimmer Bob O'Brien will be in lane 4. Knights will be represented in lane 1 by Bill Baldwin, lane 3 Eric Umlauf, and lane 5 Chris McKelvey. Look for Eric Umlauf's long reach in this race. Up and down the pool is the race. Coming into the first term, Eric Umlauf and Chris McKelvey coming in first. It looks as if Eric is pulling ahead of Chris here. And Eric will win the race with a time of 23:55. Chris McKelvey for the Knights comes in second place at 24:36. Third place goes to Bob O'Brien of Abington with a time of 24:80. And the Knights also pick up 5th place, 26:59. Abington pulls in 4th and 6th. So the Knights pick up 1 and 2, and Abington gets its first place. Coming in 3rd place. And when we come back, we're going to take a break right now. We're going to get ready for some boys diving. We'll have the score for you with boys diving coming up next. Stay tuned here on Channel 16 North Penn Television.
It's only a little motor oil.
What difference is one drop of paint going to make?
This much fertilizer isn't going to pollute anything.
You're looking at a sea of excuses, created drop by people like you and me. Our waters can be saved if each of us does their part. Drop by drop. If we all do a little, we can do a lot. Brought to you by the Natural Resources Defense Council, the EPA, and the Ad Councils of the U.S. and Japan.
Smokey says only you can prevent forest fires, and it's true. We know we can count on you to do what Smokey says.
Never leave a campfire unattended, not even for a minute. Make sure there's plenty of water and a shovel handy.
We know we can count on you to do what Smokey says.
Remember, only you can prevent forest fires.
Starting out with boys diving. Joel. Joel for the North Penn will be doing the first dive. 1.8 degree of difficulty. A forward dive. Scores of 5, 5 and 1/2, and 6. Dan Bishop for North Penn will be diving next. 1.8 degree of difficulty. Forward dive. Three scores of 5 and 1/2. This is a forward dive in the pike position, 1.8, the required dive for the boys today. They have 1 required dive and 5 optional dives. This is the first dive for the Abington boys. Steve Bonner up next for the Knights, their premier diver. Slight confusion by the officials. Degree of difficulty on his dive is 1.8. A forward 1.5 somersault. Scores of 7 1/2, 6 1/2, and 7. Abington diver. Degree of difficulty 1.8. Forward dive in the pike position. Scores of 5 1/2, 5 and 5. 2.2 degree of difficulty for Joel for North Penn. A forward double somersault. Nice dive for Joel. 3 scores of 5. Dan Bishop up next, degree of difficulty 2.2 on his dive. Double somersault. Scores a 4, 4, forward 1/2. Abington diver George Baker, forward dive. 1.5 twist in the straight position. Thought at his dive. Scores of 3 1/2, 2 and 3 for the Abington diver. Score. Officials repeating their scores. 2.6 degree of difficulty for Steve Bonner. Beautiful dive for Steve. A double somersault in the pike position. Scores up 6 1/2, 6 1/2, and 6. Abington up next with a 2.2 degree of difficulty. Scores of 5, 5 and 1/2, and 5. North Penn diving, an inward 1.5 in the tuck position, degree of difficulty 2.2. A little short on the entry. Scores up 4 1/2, 3 1/2, and 3 1/2. Dan Bishop up next. 2.4 degree of difficulty on his dive. Scores up 3 1/2, 4 1/2, and 4 1/2. 1.4 degree of difficulty for the Abington diver. Inward in the tuck position. 1.4 degree of difficulty. Scores up 3 1/2, 4, and 4. Back dive, 1 1/2 in the tuck position for Steve Bonner. 2.4 degree of difficulty. Scores of 5, 5, and 5 for Steve. An inward 1 1/2 tuck. 2.2 degree of difficulty for the Abington diver. This is the final diver in the third round of diving. Scores at 4 1/2, 4, and 4 1/2. A back dive, 1 1/2 in the tuck position, 2.2 degree of difficulty for Joe Melton from North Penn. First diver in the fourth round of diving. Three scores of 4 1/2 for Joel. 1.9 degree of difficulty, 1 somersault, 1 twist in its straight position for Dan Bishop. His fourth dive. Five and 1/2, 5 and 5 and 1/2. 1.7 degree of difficulty, a inward dive with 1 1/2 twists for the Abington diver, George Baker. Scores of 2, 2 and 1/2, and 2. .5 degree of difficulty for Steve Bonner. A reverse 1 1/2. Somersault in the pike position. Scores of 6 1/2, 6 1/2, and 5 1/2.
Backside, 1 1/2 somersaults, tuck position, 2.2.
2.2 degree of difficulty for the Abington diver. It will be a back dive. Scores of 4 1/2, 4 1/2, and 4 1/2.
Diver number 303, reverse dive, 1 1/2 somersaults, tuck position, 2.3.
2.3 degree of difficulty for Joel for North Penn. Reverse dive, 1 1/2 somersault in the tuck position. This is the beginning of the 5th round of diving. Joel is our first diver. Nice dive for Joel. Scores of 5, 6, and 5.
301, reverse dive, straight position, 1.8.
Dan Bishop will be doing a 1.8 degree of difficulty reverse dive in the straight position. Scores of 5, 6 1/2, and 5 1/2. 1.7 degree of difficulty for the Abington diver. Scores of 3, 3, 3 and 1/2. 3.0 degree of difficulty for Steve Bonner. An inward 2 1/2 somersault in the tuck position. He did it, a little over on his rotation, but he completed the dive. Scores a 4, 4, 4 1/2.
Reverse dive, 1 1/2 somersaults, tuck position, 2.3.
2.3 degree of difficulty. Three scores of 5 for the Abington diver.
Joel Nelson, dive number 301, reverse dive, straight position, 1.8.
1.8 degree of difficulty on this dive. 6th dive. Scores of 5 1/2, 5 1/2, and 4 1/2.
Reverse dive, 1 1/2 somersaults, tuck position, 2.3.
Reverse dive, 2.3 degree of difficulty, reverse 1 1/2 somersault in the tuck position for Dan Bishop. Three scores of 3 1/2. Back dive, 1.5 degree of difficulty, 1 somersault in the tuck position for the Abington diver, George Baker. 2 and 1/2, 1 and 1/2, and 2 and 1/2. 2 and 1/2, 1 and 1/2, and 2. Correction by the officials on the scoring. 2.6 degree of difficulty. 1 and 1/2 somersaults, 1 and 1/2 twists for Steve Bonner. Scores of 6, 5 and 1/2, and 6. 1.8 degree of difficulty for the Abington diver. Scores of 5 and 1/2, 6 and 5. And that's the end of the diving position, the diving for this North Penn Knights and the Abington Ghost. We will take a break and we will come back with the beginning of the rest of the boys' events, the 100 butterfly, up next. Stay tuned here at Channel 16, North Penn Television. Welcome back to the North Penn Natatorium. We're getting ready for the start of the 100 butterfly for the Knights and the Ghosts of Abington. Swimming in lane 1 for North Penn, Matt Miziaco. In lane 3, Eric Bacocci. And lane 5, I can't tell. Abington will have one swimmer in lane 4. And they're off. Clean start for the swimmers. You will have only 4 swimmers in this event. North Penn in lane 1, 3, and 5. Abington in lane 4. We'll have four laps of the butterfly. Right now, North Penn in lane 3 and 5 will vying for the lead. Coming into the final stretch, lanes 3 and 5 still are head and head. And first place will go to lane 5 of North Penn with a time of 1 minute, 0.5. Second place will also go to North Penn, 1 minute, 0.8. And third place to North Penn, 102.19. And Abington will finish up in fourth place with 1 minute, 16.4. So North Penn, once again, 1, 2, 3. Congratulations to Steve Bonner of North Penn for winning the diving competition. Getting ready for the 100 freestyle. And Steve Fleming does win the butterfly for North Penn. In lane 1, we have Steve Pasquale, lane 3. Mike McPeak, lane 5. Chris McKelvey in the 100 freestyle. Clean start for the boys. 100 freestyle, 4 laps of the pool. This is a sprint race. Lane 3 right now, Mike McPeak, and lane 1, Steve Pasquale. Coming into the first turn, lane 3 seems to have a lead on the pack right now. North Penn swimmers are 1, 2, 3. Mike McPeak coming to the wall first. Pulling ahead of his teammates. And Mike McPeak will win the 100 freestyle with a time of 51.62. Second place goes to Chris McKelvey with a time of 53.76. And third place goes to Steve Pasquale with a time of 54.09. Fourth and fifth go to Abington. So the Knights, 1, 2, 3. Definitely overpowering the Abington Ghosts today. And we're getting ready for the 500 freestyle. This is the distance rates for the boys. 20 laps of the pool. In lane 1 for the Knights, Jim Thompson. In lane 3 for the Knights, J.D. Schneider. Lane 5, Devin Philibom. Abington will be in lanes 2 and 4. 20 laps of the pool. Swimmers are off to a clean start. Coming into the first turn, J.D. Schneider, lane 3, seems to have a lead right now. Anything can happen. J.D. Schneider still in the lead. Down at the other end of the pool, you will see the counters. They keep track of the laps for their fellow teammates. Once the swimmers get in there and get concentrated on the race, they may lose track of what lap they're on, and the counters are down there to make sure they know what lap they're on, and also to encourage them as we get further into the race. You will notice the counters pumping the cars. That means pick up the pace, pick up the pace. And you'll see the coaches along the sidelines clapping. They'll be giving signals to the swimmers as to how they're doing in the race. J.D. Schneider, right now, still ahead of the pack. Knights still have a lead on first, second, and third place. The coach is telling some of the counters to pump the cards. That means they need to pick up their pace. Each of the swimmers do set goals for themselves in these races. And the coaches know these goals, and they try to help the swimmers reach their goals. J.D. Schneider coming into the turn, still has a hold on first place. J.D. Schneider coming into you see his counter down there. Hear that whistle. He's whistling to JD, letting him know he's doing okay. Lane 1, counter's pumping. JD Schneider are having a strong race right now. Jim Thompson and Devin Philibom. Devin Philibom right now pulling in second. Right behind him is Jim Thompson for the Knights. JD right now passing the Abington swimmers. JD pulling ahead, securing his lead by almost a lap here. He definitely wants to win this race. His counters are pumping. See that counter? Lap 17. Coming into the gun lap. See the coaches on the other side telling JD to pick up his pace. Each lap he has a certain time he needs to reach his goal. Coming into the final turn for JD Schneider. JD Schneider will finish the race with a time of 4:57.16. Rest of the pack still swimming. JD looking tired. Rest of the pack is still swimming. Second place goes to Devin Philibom, the time of 5:14.77. Third place will go to Jim Thompson of the Knights, the time of 5:27.43. The Abington boys still swimming. So the Knights pick up 1, 2, 3 once again. JD Schneider picking up first place. Devin Philibom, just told by one of the North Penn swimmers, did qualify for districts with his time, so congratulations to Devin. That was his goal of the day, and he did achieve it. Way to go, Devin. The Abington boys still finishing up the race right now. Abington does have a very young team. Suburban Championships for the Knights do occur next Saturday, Saturday the 15th. Do pardon me, fighting a cold here. Coach is going to congratulate Devin for a job well done, achieving his goal of the day. Abington swimmer in lane 4 does finish up in 4th place, and the Abington swimmer in lane 2 does finish up in 5th place. It is a long, hard race, and the Knights have depth, and that's what wins them first, second, and third place is their depth. Getting ready for the boys 200 free relay. Abington will have representatives in lanes 2, 4, and 6. North Penn will be in lane 1, 3, and 5. Coach is mixing up the relay teams a little bit, putting some upperclassmen with some of the younger swimmers. 200 free relay. Each swimmer does 2 laps. And they're off. Clean start for the boys. Coming into the first turn, the Knights, 1, 2, 3. Going into the water first on the second leg will be lane 1. The relay team in lane 1, lane 5 to follow, lane 3 pulling up third. Coming into the second turn, relay team in lane 1 still holding the lead. 3 and 5 battling out for second and third. Abington not far behind in fourth place there. Into the water first once again. 1, 3, 5 in that order for the Knights. Lane 5 overtaking lane 3 right now. Knights battling with each other for first place. Into the final leg. Eric Umloff in lane 5 for the Knights. Has that long reach. Jeremy Bergman in lane 3. Coming into the final stretch. And the relay team for the Knights in lane 5 takes first place with a time of 1:37.81. Second place, the Knights, lane 1, 1:38.54. And third place to the Knights at 1:39.54. Abington still finishing up here. Abington in lane 6 pulls in fourth place. And the Abington team in lane 2 will finish up 5th. Lane 4 finishes up 6th. So the Knights, another commanding performance from them. The Knights do have a winning record right now, undefeated in the league. Getting ready for the boys' 100 backstroke. Matt Walsh will be in lane 1. For the Knights. Lane 3, can't quite tell, but lane 5 is Jonathan Fakish. And Abington will have representatives in 2 and 4. And the Abington swimmer I did mention, Bob O'Brien, will be in lane 4. Steve Johnson will be in lane 3. He does hold the pool record in this event. Just recently achieving that a few weeks ago here at the pool. 2 different starts for the swimmers. You can have the stand-up start, such as lanes 1 and 5. Or in the water, such as 2, 3, and 4. .100 backstroke is 4 laps of the pool. Steve Johnson, halfway through the race, in first place right now. Bob O'Brien pulling in second for Abington. Third place, Jonathan Fakish for the Knights. And coming into the final few strokes for the 100 backstroke for the boys, Steve Johnson pulls out the win with a time of 54.32. Second place goes to Abington's Bob O'Brien with a time of 1 minute 15. Third place goes to lane 5 with a time of 1:02.75, and fourth place goes to the Knights with a time of 1:08.69. Steve Johnson in first, Bob O'Brien for Abington in lane 4 pulls in second. Jonathan Fakish for the Knights pulls in third, and Matt Walsh pulls in fourth. Abington finishes up fifth. Ready for the 100-yard breaststroke. Abington, only one swimmer. Lane 2, only swimmer for Abington. Lane 1, Jeff Fakish for the Knights. Doug Philibom in lane 5, and Ryan McGrath in lane 5. Doug Philibom will be in lane 3. 100-yard breaststroke. For the Knights. Reaching the wall first is Doug Philibom. Coming into the final 50, Doug Philibom still in first place. Second and third still to be decided between Jeff Fakish and Ryan McGrath. Doug does touch the wall first, Jeff pulls in second, and Ryan touches third. First place does go to Doug Philibom with a time of 1:07.71, and I do believe he may have just qualified for districts also. A big applause coming from his team and from Doug himself. Second place, Jeff Fakish, 1:09.37. Third place goes to Ryan McGrath, 1:10.15, and fourth place to Abington at 1:24.68. Two more events left here between the Knights and the Abington Ghosts. I'm sorry, one more event, the 400 free relay. And the Knights do have a commanding lead, overpowering the Ghost today. The Knights showing their depth. Abington unable sometimes to fill all slots in their races. In the final race of the meet, North Penn in lanes 1, 3, and 5, Abington in lanes 2 and 4. Abington has a lot of young kids on their team. Getting ready for the first leg of the 400 free relay. Official giving instructions to the swimmers at this time. Clean start. Coming into the wall. Lane 3 for North Penn, touching first. Each swimmer, 4 swimmers, each swimmer doing 4 laps. Lane 3 still coming in first. Lanes 1 and 5. Staying together here. Eric Umlauf up next in lane 1. Chris Duracek in lane 3. And Jeremy Bergman in lane 5. Lane 3 is in first for the Knights. Lane 5 in second, and lane 1 coming in third. Abington, 4th and 5th. Abington in the water for their second leg now. Second relay team. Now has its second swimmer in the water. Coming into the final 50 for this rank of swimmers. Lane 3 still in first place. Lane 5 in second. Lane 1 in third. We're on the third leg of swimmers for the Knights. Abington still second leg in the water right now. Up next for the Knights, lane 1, Steve Johnson. Lane 3, JD Schneider. Lane 5, Jeff Fakish. Yeah, Jeff Fakish. Lane 3 will come into the water first. Lane 5 in second. Lane 1 in third. JD Schneider touches the wall first. Jeff Fakish right on his tail. Steve Johnson right on Jeff Fakish's tail. Three and 5. Head in head right now. Lane 5 seems to be taking over the lead from JD Schneider. Coming into the final turn. Who will get first place? Looks as if Jeff Fakish will pull it out for the Knights. And he does pull it out for the Knights with a time of 3:29.16 in lane 5. Relay team in lane 3 pulls out second with a time of 3:30.77. Lane 1 pulls in a time of 3:39.83. And Abington still finishing up the race. So the Knights once again prove their power today at the North Penn Pool by crushing the Abington Ghosts. Abington still finishing up the race here in the 400 free relay. Got 3 more laps in lane 2, 2 more laps in lane 4. Abington showing a lot of heart, completing every race. And the relay team for Abington in lane 4 will pull in 4th place here today. Finishing with a time of 4:53.28 is the time they finish with. Lane 2 finishing up their final 50. And lane 2 finishes a time of 5:24.55. I'm sorry, 5:26.11 is their final time. And the Knights do win here today at the North Penn Pool, bringing their winning streak up to 152, continuing on the longest record in the North Penn High School for any sport. Undefeated right now. 2 or 3 more meets left in the season for the Knights. A few accomplishments here for the Knights. Few of their swimmers did make districts with their times today. Congratulations to all the swimmers who set their goals and made them today. And that's going to do it here at the North Penn Pool. Thanks for joining us today. Stay tuned for more exciting sports coverage here on North Penn Television Channel 16. For the entire North Penn television crew, I'm Mary Fakish. Thanks for joining us. Have a great day.